This is just AMZN on Tuesday, December 11th, 2018, with a look at what happened today. Pre-market rallied up from yesterday's close at about 1641. Clearly crossed the 1665, ran up, had a really nice S-curve pre-market, looked like it was going to continue moving higher, and then right before the market opened, the last 15 minutes just went sideways. And when the market opened, pulled back, looking like it was going to bounce, has a nice lower wick here right off of 1665, that range. And then the next candle breaks through it, recovers, breaks down again, not breaking down, but staying inside. So we've got lower highs, and then we've got almost an inside candle set up. Let's see, the low here is 10 cents lower than the low here. This is an inside candle, and then you get another 15 minutes of sideways right on the 1665, where the first candle is a hammer that doesn't break bullish, actually breaks bearish immediately, and you could set up a trade to get in bearish below that candle, which would have triggered here, and a stop right above it, or a conservative stop up here, and that would have kept you in the trade. I mean, you're already up probably about an R down here, but what happens? It retests. So today on the daily, it was a bullish retest, and then we're seeing more retesting happening on the 5-minute as we're breaking down. So these candles, we actually had the bodies a little bit on 1665 for these 5 candles, and then it was below it the rest of the day. Almost touched the body to 1665 here, stayed below here. And then these 2 candles only wicked up into 1665 and 27 cents. The high on this candle, 1665.47. The high on this candle, 1665.39. So 8 cents apart from each other. Very small candles. High wave candle, inverted hammer candle. And these 2 candles are almost a tweezer top right here, retesting a known pivot point. And we're really already have set up for this kind of an S-curve rolling over. Now, it didn't roll over quickly. It actually, just slowly jogged lower, kind of had a little retest, moved quickly down, jogged lower, kind of a complicated double S-curve thing, then broke down, almost touching all the way down at our next line at 1617.54, and then from here, rallied. But again, there wasn't very many candles saying, go bullish here. You had this high wave candle, you had a hammer, but then it just went sideways. This is kind of bookending. If you look at, just the symmetry of this, you got a high wave candle here, a very small high wave candle here. You have somewhat of a hammer, nice lower wick, maybe only the same range of the body as what the wick is. And then this hammer here, where you have a little bit more of a larger wick than the body itself. But that's the bookends, is high wave, hammer, hammer-ish, high wave. And then in between was just kind of chopping around. I mean, this whole thing was just chopping around this range, looking like it was going to retest the low here again. Not again, sorry. That was the first time I was really getting into that price as a retest. But then what's happening from here? It doesn't break down, doesn't roll down all the way to this price. It just breaks out. So there wasn't really a good signal to say buy right here, because it just didn't get right into it. I mean, the low was still 1619.60. So it's possible you had something set up, once it threw in this lower wick, maybe you had something set up to fill here and a stop down below the 1617.54 price. And you had a really nice risk reward. Didn't quite get back up here, but we're just channeling. If you can kind of zoom out on what we're looking at on the 5-minute, we were channeling. I mean, we can go back even a little further here. So, we've had a lot of channeling going on. We were, in this range for a while, got up here, we're in this range for a while, broke down. We were between these two lines, just like we were between them here again. Broke down and just went sideways through this range. So I mean, we're following the structure, and you can draw some angled lines, and you can draw some other lines like the 1691 price we had talked about, and connect it back to this day and this day, and then see how well that played out as a retest point on its way back down, and then this one not even getting up that high. So I mean, there's other lines that could be drawn in here, but just looking at what happened yesterday and today, seeing kind of these ranges that we're bouncing off of this lower area, bouncing off it again here today. We did actually push through 1665, where that had been a really nice support here, and then a pivot point in here. It played out that way today as a pivot. I'd like to see it stay above there, but I'm also seeing a bit of a triangle forming where we got these lower highs, and then you got some higher lows from yesterday. So, it just seems like it's been going down quite a bit lower than it's been going up here. And so many days going back to, let's see, what was this? Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, so in a week's time, essentially, we've just continued making lower highs overall. Let me see if I can draw that real quick. I'm seeing it. Just want to make sure everybody else sees it. There we go. So, I mean, it's not exact, but that's okay. So just sketching something where you get these lower highs, higher lows. It's coming into an apex here. Whatever time this actually happens tomorrow, where it actually gets to where this point is or within a certain range, that could be worth waiting for it to go sideways a little bit longer, and then break bullish or break bearish. So I'll leave that on there, and we can take a look at how that played out, how it plays out tomorrow. If we zoom back in just to the day here, getting in bearish on these candles or waiting for the breakdown from them. This was 925 and 930. So we'll go look at bearish move, 925 and 930. So it's interesting here. The 925 candle has a low of 1070, and then just a slight bit later at 940, the low is 1065. So we lost a little bit of value from here to here in just 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So if we come back to, let's see, 925 to 940, yep, that makes sense. We didn't quite get back up at the same level, but we lost a little bit of premium on the option, probably also because it's a really nice hammer candle right here just below a pivot, but in anticipation of it moving higher off of this really strong lower wick candle, and then this one as well. There's quite a bit of buying on both of these, and a move back up. Then having this candle, I'm sure there were some folks who were saying, yeah, this is it, I'm getting in bullish, it's going to just rally from here. And instead it broke down, and then people are thinking, well, it'll come back, it'll get back up there. And so you have some of the same buying here as here. It's just these lower wicks. An inside candle looks like it's breaking bullish, immediately engulfs that and actually takes out the low of right here, not quite here yet. And then we come back into those lows here and here until we push below it here. And what happens when we push below it? Well, people think that it's not going to go any further lower. It recovers, starts to S curve. People are loading up bearish again because, hey, it's really running into some of these resistances. And then you had 25 bearish candles here in a row, and then another 20 bearish candles in a row here. So just at a glance, you're seeing a lot of balance between the bulls and the bears, and that makes for a sideways day. In this case, it's sideways to down, but you've got on the down perspective, you got this move, and then an S curve, and then we'll really see what ends up happening tomorrow if we break down from this triangle, if we hit the apex, if we break up. You know, we really have to just wait and see what happens there. So if you were able to get in on a put down here or wait for it to get above this. Now the range on this one was a little more than $1. So hopefully you've got your trade set up that you're going to get in either a break above and then look to immediately move up your stop. You know, after, you know, probably on this candle, that's when you would have set that up. That, hey, you know, if this rolls over, I want to get filled and it could really run. Well, there was also this up, you know, as it traded up, there was this opportunity. There was potentially this one, and even these over here to be buying at a price above this. So buying at like 12, you know, so the low here is 1190, 1198. Obviously this one's in the same range here, but you know, you get the idea that there's, instead of, you know, just trading that as a tweezer top on the stock, wait a little bit. And if the trade is, you know, really setting up and moving that direction, it should give you a retest. In this case, it does a double retest of, you know, that level. And coming back into the 5 minute, this is your first retest, another one, count another one, you know, trying to get back up into this range. And this one gets really close. This one's a little further away, and then it, you know, just collapses. So that's going into the sentiment, is that people are looking for some of these key candles, these really strong lower wick candles for buying. These also looking for that buying. There are plenty of opportunities to get out as it went, you know, sideways to down through here and just not gaining the premium that you're looking for, just to get out. You know, put those funds to another trade another time, and you know, just get out of this one and, you know, look to be profitable on it. And you know, in this case here, there were some opportunities to go bearish, and you know, it really meant rally in the option price, the option puts. So looking at the 1600 put here and just seeing, you know, a decent risk reward. I mean, there's a few candles. This one's 55 range. This one's 98 range. I'm sorry, 105 range. This one is 61 range. So, you know, there's a number of candles that, you know, are setting up small enough that you could make some kind of big move. It's just really setting up at the right time and being able to manage that kind of trade. So, but you know, like what I like to do is speculate from here. So let's say somebody got in at 1150 by 1050. So, you know, that works. 1150, if you just held it, 1150 would have doubled to 23. Had you waited for it to get back up to one of these pivots, well, it did that here, and then, you know, getting out, you know, less hours would have made, you know, maybe 4 or 5 hours potentially if it hit a target in here. You know, and then once it started to retest to these levels, you know, another opportunity to buy or to wait until you get another final pullback, and then it just took off from there. So it came right back into, you know, the pivots here, or the upper wicks. We have to look and see what the pivot would be on the what the pivot would be on the stock. So this was, let's see, oops, wrong option. Yeah, so that was just getting into here. As it's just going sideways here, you're seeing this sideways, then it does this, giving you some premium, gets down here, reverses with some, you know, nice upper wicks on the strike price, or on the option price puts. So, you know, this is what we were retesting there. So it didn't really play out over here. It looked like it get above it and then just collapsed from it. This looks like, it looks funny. It looks like there should be something here and here. It looks like it's just kind of floating, not quite separate enough that'd be like an island reversal. But, you know, it definitely came down into this level and then looked like it was going to continue lower, and then it just rallied. And those can be tough to get into, to trade right. So, yeah. Tomorrow, we'll see what we do with this. I'd like to see it go bullish. If it comes bearish a little more, just like yesterday, it could wick down below on the daily. It could wick down below these lines, and it did, but then it recovered. We'll see if that recovery continues, or if it goes sideways tomorrow, then rally continues on Thursday. We'll just have to wait and see. So, in the meantime, hope you enjoyed this video. This is Justin Amazon. Thanks.